Hey out there, Slot Car Land. How's everybody doing this weekend? Hope everybody had a great and safe and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you didn't have too much turkey and had a turkey coma for a while, but hope you got to eat some turkey, be with family, watch some football if you guys are into that, or race some slot cars depending on what you were doing, and just enjoyed your day in a whole. Hope you also have watched the races from last weekend. It's amazing. I went Tuesday, I think it was. Was it Tuesday? Tuesday, I went and looked at the points. That was the closest points race weekend by far between everybody. I mean, there's been weekends that Elijah has beat Stan by 20 to 50 points, and first through, we had what, 9 people? So first through ninth was only separated, I think, by 38 points total. I mean, the top five were only separated by 14 points. So it was very close racing, very close weekend. Go check that racing out. We'll be racing again next Sunday at Stan's house. We'll be running T-Jets, Magna Tractions, and HP7s. This will be the last points race for a month. We'll take a month off for the Christmas break. We'll be back racing points again on the 8th of January with 3 rounds left in the championship to go. So go check that out. Don't forget to go check out slotcarcrazy.com as well. Check out the points. Check and see how close these points were for the weekend. It was amazing how close they were. So go check that out. So today we're going to start our Super 2 project. And we're going to start by learning a little bit about the Super 2 this weekend. Before we start the build, give you guys some history, where the car comes from, what it's based off of, and a little bit of history, and we'll go over some of the facts inside the Super 2 box as well, giving you guys an idea about what the car is about and everything. So, just to give you a little bit, the Super 2 is based off of the Aurora AFX chassis, and it's based off of a car that was built by Tony Purcelli. I believe that's how or Procelli. I think that's how I pronounced it. In the early 1970s, he was running, in 1971, he was running a highly modified AFX car in New York against a whole bunch of Tyco Pros. So the Super 2, it came out the same time as, was being run the same time as the Tyco Pros were being run. And to everybody, the Tyco Pros were a lot faster, but he was beating these guys with this highly modified AFX car. And a lot of stuff that was on this car made it into the production car. Now, Aurora hired him to help with in the R&D department to take what he built and develop it into a car that they could sell to the public. Now, the car that they actually came up with, the Super 2 they actually came up with, varies greatly. Except in the book, a lot of stuff that I've been reading says the design differed greatly from the car that he actually built. And I think a lot of that has to do with what Aurora needed to do to make the car production, to produce the car in mass quantities to be able to sell. Now, another interesting fact is in the early 1970s, a standard AFX car would cost you about $4. The Super 2, on the other hand, would cost you, if you go down to your local hobby store, the Super 2 was offered from 72 to 73, only 2 years. But you go down to your local hobby store, you'd end up paying $14 in 72 or 73 for a Super 2. So kind of a little more expensive than a regular car, but it's it's actually $12 compared to $4 for a regular AFX car. So, you know, it did cost a lot more than your regular car, and in the early 70s, that's a lot of money when you think about it. I mean, today's cars, we're paying, you know, for a brand new Aurora Tomei Mega G Plus, we're paying like $30-some. So that is quite a jump. So some of the facts about the car, we're going to take a look at the inside the Super 2 box that we have, and we'll talk about some of the points in the box and some of the stuff about the Super 2. It had a dual wound, what they call bulletproof quadrilam, which I'm not quite sure what they mean by quadrilam, but it has to do with the lambs that are on the arm of the motor. It can run at 6,300 RPM or 63,000 RPMs at 15 volts on a recurrent DC power. It had a 5-degree advanced super flat painted circuit commentator plate, which that's the commentator plate that's on the bottom of the car. Improved long wear super conductive commentator brushes and spring mounted in machined brass sink heat bush holders. So that's the difference between the AFX car and the Super 2. Is the Super 2 runs motor brushes more like what an AFX, like a magnet traction car would, with springs and your motor brushes on a spring rather than the tension bar that's on the regular AFX car. Laminated of brush flat by spring mounted brushes. Gold plated pickup shoes. Now, this was the original. They did change it down the road. The 72 and 73 chassis differ a little bit. The first Super 2s that came out on their pickup shoes actually had braid attached to the front of the pickup shoe. Down the road, they dropped that and just went in with a standard shoe. This gold-plated pickup shoes with a copper braid that prove a 20% increase in electrical pickup from the track. Now, like I said, they eventually did drop that. The later Super 2s didn't have that. And the one we're building will be on standard shoes. I don't know if you can get those shoes with the braids on them anymore. Up to 35% faster than a stock AFX car when compared at the same voltage. Double-ended, deep slot guide pin. So it has a guide pin more like your G Plus cars do. It's a metal guide pin. There's also several different kind of the thicker slotted, kind of like your flag blades as well, depending on the car. Fully articulated chrome plate, lead side weights on the lower to lower the center of gravity and deepen and damper vibration. The result is a super handling on flat turns. So they're talking about the weights on the front and the sides. Screw-mounted chrome plate, brass, and lead nose weight. So the first thing they were talking about was the side weights. This is the nose weights. Nose during keeps nose down during acceleration and cornering. Hinged body mount integrated with the nose weight. And then glued and trued circular sponge rear tires mounted on lightweight machined aluminum screw set racing wheels, and combined with a bulletproof steel axle gets the muscle out to the track. So, and that's what we're going to do. Our first build is we're going to be building it with sponge tires, so it's going to be an original chassis. And then super round low function O-ring front tires mounted on lightweight machined aluminum wheels, and we do have those for our car as well. And then a pre-painted, and ours isn't pre-painted, so ours is a replacement body, but a pre-painted, ready-to-race vacuum form body with highly detailed cockpit and driver and air scoop. Hinge mounted, provides instant access to the chassis. So, and ours, we don't have the driver insert. There's if you guys look at the body, this is the body we have. There's a driver piece that you glue onto here, which we don't have. So ours will just be a clear body. We'll end up painting it and everything, but it's pretty cool. And then when you bought the Super 2, it came in this really cool box that I think Ted Baker sent us to this when he originally sent us the original parts and everything. And there was a velvet insert in the center, and then the chassis was on one side and the body was on the other side. And I think, if memory serves, there's like 4 different colors, I think. There's a red, a yellow, and a white, I believe. There might even be a 4th color. I can't remember which it is, that you could get in the Super 2. So it came in this really neat packaging and just kind of looked really, really cool. And, of course, it's currently one of the holy grails of the Aurora collectors to have an original Super 2 in their collection, in the box, and everything. So, and then there's also a lot of reproductions out there that like what we're going to be building and a bunch of other stuff. So that's a little bit of background about the Super 2, where it came from, whose idea it originally was. And I would love to see, I didn't see any pictures of it, and I don't have it in the book that I have, but I'd like to see the picture of the original of Tony Purcell's car and how much it differs from the actual car that Aurora ended up producing. Be kind of neat to see what the differences are between those two chassis. But that'd be kind of neat to see. But I haven't been able to find any pictures of that anywhere, so that'd be really, really cool to find out. So in the next episode here, we'll be taking the Super 2 and we'll start to assemble it. We'll put our axles and stuff on. I'm not quite sure. We'll see if we can't get the tires mounted and see if we can get them stuck to the rims, and maybe do a couple other things in the next episode, and we'll get this puppy started here in the next episode. So I hope this helps you guys out. I hope this is a little information on the Super 2 that you may have not known, or you may know it, or maybe you guys know some more information that I don't know. Just add it in the comments of the video and let us know. So in the next episode, we'll be starting the Super 2 build. Next week, of course, we're going to be racing. So don't forget, don't miss out on that. And then the week after that, we'll start the Super 2 build. We'll start putting this baby together, and we're going to do it over a couple episodes. We'll also show painting the body and everything and all that kind of stuff. We'll kind of come up with a neat paint scheme. We might just even paint it a flat one color or something, or just put a stripe down it or something. So we'll end up doing that and a bunch of other stuff. So have a great week. I hope you guys like I said, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And keep on racing slot cars. Keep the pin in the slot. Keep the wheels on the downside. And I'll catch you guys next week with some racing. And then in 2 weeks, we'll start this Super 2 build. And we'll just get her going. And I hope you guys have a great week. I'm out.